Alrighty. Are you able to see my screen? Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Jocelyn Mercado. I am a financial aid advisor at Mission College. And tonight we'll be talking about financial aid and what the next steps for seniors are. Awesome. So we'll be reviewing a couple of things. So the first one is financial aid resources, types of financial aid, so where they're coming from. Financial aid applications, we do have two. So the FAFSA and California Dream Act. We'll review a little bit on the AB 540, a couple of verification requirements, loans, scholarship resources, and then what the next steps are. So if y'all have questions, we can answer at the end. Alrighty, and just to get started, anywhere that you decide to go, whether it is a community college, a CSU, UC, or a private institution, just know that there are financial aid opportunities. One way is through scholarships and to submit financial aid applications. So the types of financial aid that we have, so need-based aid, that means that it's free money. So an examples of that would be grants and scholarships. So anytime that you see the word grants or scholarships is free money. They're also non-need based earned, which is, non-need based, which you earn it, such as work study or is a loan. And you do have to pay, unfortunately, the loans back, but you earn the work study. And then again, anytime that you see the word grants, it is free money. So it's financial aid for you to help pay for your education, whether it be tuition, books, rents. Once you get that free money, it is up to your discretion how you use it. Essentially, it is to help pay for your education. And then this is just sort of a visual. It helps me sort of see how it's help aid or gift aid. So again, scholarships and grants, it's gift money. It is free. And then the loans, you do have to pay back with interest. And then again, student employment, that's federal work study. It is money that is earned. And then where do we know where where the money comes from? So there are different entities that provide this financial aid. So some of that does come from the federal government, and some grants that come from the federal government are the Pell Grant and federal work study. State government, for example, the California Promise Grant, EOPS or EOP, middle class scholarship, and waivers. There's also institutional aid, such as, for example, Mission College. We do offer what is called the Mission Promise Grant and the enrollment fee grant. So if you live within our service area, you do get free tuition. So depending where you're going, they should have some institutional aid that you can also use to help cover some of your costs. So again, just to focus a little bit more on where that money comes from. So federal aid will focus on the Pell Grant. You can receive up to $7,395 for the semester. The Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity is also additional aid for students. So these grants are free. You do not need to pay back, and that's if you are eligible, depending on once you submit your financial aid application. And then work study. So this varies by school. But it's money that is earned while you're going to college. So you find a job and you decide to work, you're earning that money while you're going to school. And then examples of California state aid, as I mentioned, you could potentially be eligible for Cal grants such as A, B, or C. Um, Also grants from EOP or EOPS, middle class scholarships, and fee waivers. So the most known waiver is the California Promise Grant. So at a community college level, your classes are waived off, so you don't have to pay for classes, mandatory fees or books or anything else. Then that's what you would be responsible for. That's just one example of what the California state aid would be. And then this is again is an example of our institutional awards that Mission College provides, as well as our sister college, West Valley. So if you live within the service area, you submit your financial aid application, then you do have that free tuition. I know a couple changes are coming in the spring semester with our new policy with AB 3158, I believe, where students that live within the service area do get that free tuition regardless if they file a financial aid application or not, but it's highly recommended. Okay. And then our application for this upcoming year, so 2025, 2026, will be opening up December 1st, and priority deadline is March 2nd, 2025. Ignore the March 3rd, March 2nd, 2025. But the sooner that you submit it, the better, more chances of you of earning that state aid. So now to know what application you submit. We do have two applications. The first one is the FAFSA application. It's for U.S. citizens, eligible non-citizens, and permanent residents. So if you do meet that criteria, then the FAFSA application is what you're submitting. For students that are submitting the California Dream Act application, this application is for our undocumented student population. Students that have a current or expired DACA, that are Tier U visa holders, and that meet the AB 540 requirements, which we'll review on the next couple of slides. So in order to submit these applications, you can go through your CCGI login and access either application, whether it be your FAFSA application or your California Dream Act. So just make sure that you log in through your CCGI to access the applications. And that way your school can also keep track of who's completed. Some important information that you need before you submit the applications is just general information, such as your legal name, your date of birth, social security number for FAFSA, list of schools that you're planning to go to. The FAFSA application takes up to 20 schools now. And then we also need parent income information. So the income that we're looking at for this aid year of 2025, 2026 will be 2023 income. And if parents didn't file taxes, it's totally fine. There will be sections where students can state whether, the reason why parents did not file. So again, the aid year we're looking at for is 2025, 2026. We're going to get started with the California Dream Act application. So in order for students to submit the application, they need to create an account first. So you'll just go to need account, register your account, log in, complete the application using 2023 income tax. And the new thing that this application does have is that you are stating that you have that you meet the AB 540 criteria. So the AB 540 will be on the application, but you also need to follow up with the institution of your choice to let them know that you do meet the criteria. And so to know who qualifies for the AB 540, so in order to meet this criteria. You need to have attended K through 12, high school, adult school, or community college for at least 3 years, and also have graduated with a high school diploma or GED. Or also equivalent. So for the seniors that are graduating this year, if and need to submit an AB 540, you need to indicate that you've completed your 3 years, you have graduated, you have met the number of credits, and then you would take this form to that institution that you are planning to go to, whether it be community college, CSU, UC, private. This is what you will need to let them know um, if you're submitting the California Dream Act application. And so now for FAFSA. So for FAFSA, we are submitting, again, the same aid year, 2025, 2026. This application is for U.S. citizens, permanent residents, and eligible non-citizens. And also priority deadline is March 2nd, and we are focusing on the 2023 income tax. Again, if parents didn't file taxes, it's totally fine. You just need to indicate the reason why parents did not file taxes. So now with this new application, everybody needs to create their federal student aid ID. So this is used for students and parents to sign their applications once it's submitted. I do want to highlight that parents that do not have a social security number through U.S. citizen or permanent resident and only have an ITIN number, that means that they do not have a social security number and they would still need to create an FSA ID. They just need to indicate it on the account. So in order to create the account, this is for students and parents that do have a social security number. So they have to go to FAFSA.gov, create an account, user legal name, their information. They have to have their social security number. And basically, once they go 1 through step 7, they have created their FSAD and can move forward with the application. So now students and parents, or at least students and parents that do not have a social security number, it is a little bit more on the lengthier side, but it's doable. So for students, they have to do same as step 1. They create their student account with their legal name, social security, follow step 1 through 7. No problem, they complete their account. So now for parents, if you see here, there's like a little question. Basically, for parents, they do a drop down and indicate that they do not have a social security number. The box then will gray off and they can then continue to the next set of questions. For parents that do not have a social security number, they need to create this account. They need to get a member case number and also send an attestation validation of identity request. So we'll go through those steps as well. So now for parents that don't have a social security number, they create their accounts, but now they need to request a member case number. So they again go to the FAFSA website, and I can give an example of how those steps would be. Wait. Okay. Can you see my screen still? Yeah. Do you see my FAFSA page?
So we're at students and parents without SSN page.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can just drag it. Can you see that? FAFSA?
Still the same page?
Okay. Let me stop sharing and share again. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, good.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So what I mean by scrolling down is scrolling down the page of FAFSA and going where it says contact us. I'm a parent, and then email. So you'll fill out your personal information, the email address that you created your FSA ID with, and then on subject, it's going to be FSA ID, account username and password, create account, login ID. Here you will say member case number and send. Once that is sent, then you're going to receive an email to your personal information. Sorry, to your personal email with that information. So once you do that, then you can send the attestation validation form, which I will now share my screen. Okay, so you have your member case number. Then you send the attestation and validation of identity. So what this does is that for those parents that do not have a social security number, they verify their identity. So what you'll do is fill out your information just as you created your FSA ID, but you'll put that member case number that you requested through the customer service through Contact Us. And then you'll send one of these. So they're just to try to verify your identity, right? Once you have everything, then you're gonna send it to ID verification at ed.gov. They take about 3 to 5 days to process and verify. They'll notify the student. And then once everything is good to go, then students and parents can log in, complete that application. Students can then send the invitation to the contributor. Well, then the contributor will put in their financial information, and then both the student and the parent then signs. It is important to know that when you do create your FSA ID, please make sure that you have it with you. And your social is always going to be linked to your FSA ID. So you cannot create a new account, unfortunately. If for whatever reason your social, your name is not correct, then you would have to try to get some help through the Federal Student Aid customer service number to help you either correct your social security number or also your name. There are some cases where students aren't able to provide parent information. So in these cases, we do call them unusual circumstances. So if if students aren't able to provide parent information, they do have to select they have unusual circumstance and then follow up with their institution for a dependency override follow-up. So that means that they're unable to get parent income because they have lost contact. It's not a safe environment. For special circumstances, maybe at the time when parents submitted the financial aid application, they were still working, but maybe like a month or two later, they lost their job or working less hours. You can also follow up with your institution to make what it's called an income adjustment. So that means that they can recalculate your EFC, your expected family contribution, to see if you're eligible for maybe more Pell or other grants. There are also, anywhere that you go, whether it be community college, CSU, UC, private, there are options for you to get a federal loan, so the federal direct student loans. It is recommended to really think if you want to take out a loan, because you do have to pay that money back with interest. you need to be enrolled in at least 6 units. So if you're planning to get a loan, the minimum requirements is to be enrolled in at least 6 units. We do have two loans, so subsidized and unsubsidized loan. So students are responsible to pay all the interest after. So just make sure that you really consider what loan, like if you really need the loan, once if you're planning to apply to one. Also, for scholarships, let me share my page. Um, but as I mentioned earlier, scholarships is free money. So anywhere that you're planning to go to, they should have a page that is for scholarships. So I'm going to share my page again for Mission College. Are you able to see my screen again? Can you see Mission College there?
Yes, it's the Mission College webpage.
Okay, perfect.
Right? Yeah.
So anywhere that you go, even if you go to like San Jose State, CUCMB, um, Santa Cruz, they do have these tools for you to, check them out. So at our institution, Mission College, we do offer scholarships. So we have scholarships that are available for students to check out. So external scholarships, I recommend looking at FastWeb. I also recommend collegefund.org. So these are websites that you can go create an account and then filter out scholarship opportunities. You can get 5,000, 2,000. There's just a broad range of opportunities. And again, that is free money that you do not have to pay back. It's available to you. Some of them do require a letter of recommendation, an essay, sometimes like a GPA requirement. But I recommend checking into each of these external scholarships to see what their recommendation is. And you can also follow it up, at your institution if you already know where you're planning to go to, browse their scholarship page and see what they are offering. Yeah, and also uh, if they are charging you to look for applications, um, that's probably a scam. Everything that is out there should be free, especially for scholarships. You do not need to pay. You do not need to pay to look for scholarships. So just be aware on possible scams. Everything should be free. And don't put like your personal information where you really think, you don't trust it. So start early, start looking for scholarships early. The more that you apply to, the better, more chances of you for getting that free financial aid. And then some tips for scholarships. So create a master essay. Once you have that master essay, you can customize it to follow up, with the other scholarships. So if you have a scholarship for soccer, but you have your master essay just talking about you can also add why you like soccer or what you've done with soccer. You can also include the volunteer service you've done. So if you volunteer in the weekends or after school, if you volunteer in school, any accomplishment that you've had. Um, these are a couple of tips that you can write about to make your application stand out. Also, just proofread your essay. You can have an instructor help you with this. Your mom, your dad, just tutor anybody, and definitely, help out, to make your scholarship stand out. And then again, this is what I just showed you on our Mission College website. But you can definitely check out other platforms, other institutions. They are here for you. Again, it is free money. The more you apply to, the better. I did have one of my, I did have a couple students apply to scholarships. And some of them did get 2 or 3 scholarships, um, with close to like $20,000. So I highly recommend that you apply. Again, it's free money, that you do not need to pay back, and it can help you to pay for books, pay for rent, if you're staying on campus. Just in general, it's free money again. To use towards your education. Okay, so now once you have accepted, what do you do next? So you have to follow up with your institution. Sometimes they do have things that you need to complete, such as verification. So in order to do that, you would have to log in through your portal to see if you have to verify your tax returns, your Cal Grant acknowledgement forms, to view your award, so what you have earned for that aid year. That's where you will also make a payment, view if you have a balance, pay any remaining fees, things like that. So at Mission College, we do have a portal, and every institution should. But I can also show that as well. So when you go to your portal, you basically access everything, right? So you can register for classes, view your transcripts, view your schedule, view the important dates. You can view your financial aid. You can pay your fees online. You can also apply for a parking permit. And the most important, once you have submitted your financial aid application, you have selected the college that you're planning to go to, you have to also select your refund. So how do you receive that money? That's through your refund selection. We go through the bank mobile process, but that can vary depending on institutions. But it's important that you also set that up so that way you can receive your financial aid. And again, Bank Mobile. So that's going through your student portal, under your financial aid, and then selecting your refund selection. Again, student portal is where you can view all of those accounts. So if you want to register for classes, view your financial aid, change your personal information, things like that. That's through your student portal. And then again, just a couple of things for you to do, is check on your to-do list. So if you already know what institution you're planning to go to, just follow up with them, follow up with your financial aid advisor, and then also check to see what you have to do. Check on the payment due dates. You can accept or decline your grants, sign up for orientation, so that way you can get that the next step, the follow-up. And then also check your email at least 2 times a week. So we do send a lot of emails, so it's important that you keep on checking, to see if you have any missing requirement, any verification requirement, your refund, things like that. So make sure that you stay up to date with your emails. And And then also apply to support programs. So TRIO, EOPS, MESA, these are programs that are going to help you out once you're at college. So EOPS, as I mentioned earlier, or EOP, they provide with additional grants. So definitely apply to support programs. Not just they don't just offer just grants, but they can also help you like with tutoring, and things like that. And then again, just renewing your financial aid every year. So we are focusing on 2025, 2026. It is opening December 1st, and you will be using your 2023 income. But you do need to renew your financial aid application every year. So just keep that in mind when you do create your FSAIDs. Write everything down, logins, passwords, so that way when the next aid year comes around, you're ready to submit that application with no issues. And then again, no news is not always good news, so it's good to follow up with the financial aid. Just let them know, hey, like, is everything completed? Do I have any pending requirements? What do I do next? So just make sure that you also check in just in case. And then this is my contact information. So if you do have any questions regarding the process or just general financial aid questions, you can send me an email. I'd be happy to support with any questions. That's pretty much it. That's all I have for you guys tonight.